Welcome back to ARC Seattle on your Wednesday morning. I'm Steve McCarron.
And I'm Tyrah. Let's dive right into the deep end. If you learned CPR years ago, you might not have heard about the new CPR guidelines from the American Heart Association. They involve new recommendations for when people are choking, opioid-related emergencies, and the chain of survival.
Joining the conversation now to explain what this all means is Dr. Ashish Panchal, a volunteer chair of the American Heart Association Emergency Cardiovascular Care Science Committee. Doctor, thanks for joining us here on ARC Seattle.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So it's kind of hard to keep track sometimes, and I'm glad you're here this morning because I don't think a lot of people are sort of up to date on these new guidelines. Tell us about these key updates in the 2025 CPR and emergency care guidelines. What are they?
Yeah, so in the new AHA, American Heart Association guidelines, our focus has been to bring the newest science to everyone. That means lay rescuers and healthcare professionals. These updated life-saving recommendations go through the gambit, really, but really focus on cardiac arrest, choking, and opiate overdose. And the end point here is we're making it easier for everyone to remember and to use.
So how does the new consolidated chain of survival help bystanders respond in an emergency?
I love that question. So in the past, our chain of survival had like 4 different chains: adult, pediatrics, out of hospital, in hospital. We now have made a single chain of survival where we're all singing off the same sheet of music. It simplifies our understanding of life-saving and what those life-saving steps are. And it makes it easier for lay rescuers like you and I to be able to step in, and it emphasizes our role in what we need to do. And when we think about the first 3 steps in the chain of survival, it's pretty straightforward. Number 1, recognize something is going on and call 911. Second, perform high quality CPR. And third, get an AED, defibrillate. It'll coach you as well as give a shock if it's needed. These steps together will quickly save a life and improve outcomes.
So if you're a parent, a caregiver, or bystander, what sort of simple steps can they take to save a life here?
Yeah, I love the how. The how is the key part of all of this. First, for cardiac arrest, when you see someone suddenly collapse, perform hands-only CPR. And this is for adults and teens, and it's super simple. Call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest. For choking, this is one of the big updates. This time, for adults and children, do repeated cycles of back blows followed by 5 abdominal thrusts. That's 5 back blows and 5 abdominal thrusts. There's a caveat. For infants, do 5 back blows and 5 chest thrusts, because those young infants, their abdomens are very vulnerable. The last big update I want to put in front of you is the concept of the opioid epidemic. When we think about that, one of the things that we can use to stem the tide and save some lives is naloxone or Narcan. These are so much more available. And in our recommendations, use this for anyone who has a suspected overdose. It's not going to hurt them. It could only help them. Key concept here: recognize the emergency and reach out and help.
I think, Doctor, for people who have not been through this process of training in quite some time, long has been the way of doing the breaths into a person when they're going through a medical emergency. Is that right?
That's true. In 2010, we switched lay rescuer CPR from doing breaths to just doing hands-only CPR. Now, breaths are still critically important. If you're a healthcare provider and you're comfortable giving breaths, give breaths. Those breaths are still important for people who are drowning victims, for opioid overdoses. The key concept, though, that we know is hands-only CPR is a great place to start. So if you know nothing, you've never had this experience, and you're afraid, just do the hands-only CPR, and that's more than enough to save a life.
Where can people go to get some more information, Doctor?
Thank you so much. It's learn more at heart.org/nation. So go again to heart.org/nation. Keep in mind, these cardiac arrest events or these emergencies happen in the home. This could be your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle. Learn, because the people that you might save could be your loved ones.
Mm-hmm. It can happen anywhere. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Some potentially life-saving information for our viewers. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks again.
We're going to add a link to more information now at our website, KOMOnews.com/hotlinks. In It's really important. I personally have not gone through that training in quite some time, and I know I need to, just because depending on the certain type of situation that you're in, there's obviously some variations on what you're supposed to do if you're trying to, attend to somebody who's in an emergency situation. So very important to get that training if you can.
Yeah, I'm probably due for a refresher as well with that training. Another good tip, if you're on social media, to follow the American Heart Association. They post popular songs, hit songs, all genres, that give you the tempo and how many beats per second that it'll take to do the hands-only CPR. So if you don't have the training, you can memorize one of your favorite songs.
Very good idea.